Hello everyone. I thought I would tell you a little about all of the basset hounds that I've ever owned, because this is a photo of all of them, and I'll go in order here. Now I only remember one dog before the basset hounds, and that was a dog named a Labrador named Ace. Unfortunately, I was never very close to him because I was a small child and he was so much bigger than I that I never really bonded with him. But the first dog that I really bonded with, and it's also when my family really came to be aware of the fact that Basset Hounds were just kind of the perfect fit for us, uh, was the Basset Hound George, who you can see in this photo. He's a bit older here. And George, of course, they were all good dogs in their own way, but all the Basset Hounds have had very different personalities. Like George was, in many ways, kind of a pervert because he would grab people's legs and do some inappropriate things to them. And none of our other Basset Hounds have done that. But George was the first Basset Hound that we had. Unfortunately, later on, he became crippled where he couldn't walk on his two hind legs, but he still lived for some time after that, and where he would like drag his body around in the snow, and it was very funny. And then of course there's Bill, who the reason I decided to make this video today is that this is the sixth anniversary of Bill's death, where he was probably in many ways the most good natured of all the dogs that we had, because he was just very sweet and kind, and he was gotten, I think, from my sister's graduation, and unfortunately he passed away rather suddenly in 2017, and it was so devastating that we got these two dogs, the Barney and Gizmo. Unfortunately, Gizmo is the only dog still living right now. You might be able to see him whining over there, wanting me to come outside. but but anyway, but Barney was a very possessive kind of dog, where he would. One of the reasons I think Gizmo isn't as affectionate as he is because Barney would get in your lap and he wouldn't let Gizmo come near, and he was a very domineering but also very kind and sweet dog. And unfortunately, and it would really, because Barney was originally, we were just going to get Barney, and there was some hesitation among some members of my family to get Gizmo. I'm glad we did, because if we hadn't, the same thing likely would have happened to Barney, who died of unexpected case of diabetes, which I suspect of ketoacidosis, which again I could go into it, but it was so unexpected because he didn't show any signs of it until like the last 2 days before he passed away, and we had some difficulty getting him to the vet, and by the time we did, it just didn't seem to help. And that I have a feeling that the similar thing might have happened with Bill, but then we didn't know, we weren't as conscious of that there was something seriously wrong with him, so we didn't act as quickly as we did with Barney. And of course, even though we acted as quickly as possible with Barney, it didn't really seem to make a difference, and it's just so horrible. And but Gizmo's the only one currently still living right now. It's unfortunate though that none of the Basset Hounds have George was 9 when he passed away, and then Bill was 7, and then Barney was only 5, and then Gizmo's about ready to turn 6, and so we just had a lot of bad lucks with their mortality. And I suppose one of the reasons is because my parents won't allow the dogs to be inside, so sometimes you don't always, again, it's not up to me, it's their decision. And so it doesn't, might not always be able to catch things as quickly as if they are. Of course, of course now there's a fenced in yard, and Gizmo has multiple houses, and he's really been more spoiled, Gizmo, than any other dog we've ever had. But and we're going to get another dog hopefully in next year. Well, I'm thinking about naming Vincent, but I'm not sure. And but this is the history of all of our dogs.